Jim, it's good to see you, Brooklyn. Hello. Good to see you again.
Hi, hi,
Hi,
hi.
Tony.
Um, wow. We're heading into season two of Home Before Dark, and Hildy has some challenges in front of her, doesn't she, Brooklyn?
She does. She has a lot of challenges. I think in season one, she has the challenge of being recognized and respected, but now that she is respected in her community and by people, and that her story has gotten attention, she now has to deal with, you know, people keeping their judgments to themselves, but almost saying it right to her face, but with their faces. Um, I think she also has to deal with like family and just to deal with this whole crazy world that she's trying to just mesh together to make like one life for herself.
And speaking of family, Jim, you are just a great dad in this show. Does that carry off camera as well? Are you kind of a mentor to Brooklyn?
I wouldn't say I was the mentor. I wouldn't. I would say that we have a very equal relationship. You know, we have a good sort of connection in that way. In the same way that Matt does with Hildy, I think. You know, there's a lot of respect between the two of them. And even though of course, an age difference between the two, and Matt has to step in as a dad and sort of guide Hildy through certain areas of her life, you know, that ultimately there's a huge respect between the two of them as sort of journalists, and he sees a lot of himself in his daughter, I think.
Yeah, and Matt is going through some changes too. There was a nice nail biter toward the end here, and getting into season two, there's a lot more going on for Matt.
Yeah, I think he's come out of the sort of fog that he was in during season one, where he was going through a lot of sort of deep emotional stuff, returning back to his family home that carried a lot of sort of pain and a lot of secrets. So yeah, now he's sort of come out of that, but you know, he's dealing with a lot of stuff with his own father, who's now moved into the house and is dealing with an illness, and you know, having to sort of navigate the duality of being a dad to his kids, but also being a son, you know, and what it feels like to be a son and have your dad going through certain things in life. So, yeah, there's that cyclical nature that the show does so brilliantly, where you know the adults are learning from the kids, and the kids are learning from the adults, and you know, Matt is a dad, but he's also a son, and the dad, you know, it's all sort of plays into this whole sort of big family melting pot, you know.
Brooklyn, I'm gonna give you the last word. Our interview is so short, but I'm gonna give you the last word. What do you think audiences are going to pull out of Home Before Dark for the second season?
I think for the second season they're gonna pull out that that for Hildy, I think in the first season you see a Hildy who's only concerned about finding the truth and only concerned about journalism. Um, I think for now, and I think for this season, you see Hildy growing, that you see Hildy actually is learning that it's not always about the truth. It's not always about chasing the story. You have to be there for people who need you the most, and you have to use your time with people wisely because you just you never know when you're going to have them and when you're not.
You know, you guys do such a great job on this show. It's such a beautifully written show. So thank you so much, Jim, Brooklyn. It's great to see you again, and we'll catch up on season three, I hope.
I hope
Yes,
so. Thanks, Tony.
hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Bye bye.